and welcome to the first Wednesday wandering of 2025. That's me wondering about stuff and not just wandering off. I hope you had a lovely Christmas. As the Christmas season draws to a close, we arrive at a day brimming with meaning and beauty and tradition, Epiphany. So it's celebrated on January the 6th, which is Monday, and Epiphany is a time of revelation and light. And for Christians, it marks the visit of the Magi to the Christ child and the manifestation of Jesus as the light of the world. But Epiphany isn't just a religious observance. It's a celebration that brings together lots of diverse traditions from around the world, sort of blending the traditional ideas of midwinter in the Northern Hemisphere with faith, with culture, and with a touch of magic. And I want to explore the history and global customs of Epiphany and its significance in our lives today, and how we can use it as a time for creativity and reflection. So let's explore this together, because I think it's really interesting. Now, one of the things that I really love is this idea of the traditions going back hundreds and thousands of years and how it's relevant for today. So at its heart, Epiphany is about revelation. The word comes from the Greek epiphaneia, which means manifestation or appearance. And it's the day that commemorates, as I said, the moment that the wise men visited the Christ child, bringing their symbolic gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And each gift, as you probably know, has profound meaning. So the gold for kingship, frankincense for divinity, and myrrh for mortality. And together they recognized Jesus as the King, God, and Saviour. But beyond its religious significance, Epiphany reminds us of the journey of the Magi. They followed a star. They didn't know where it was going. They trusted the light to guide them. And I love this story because I feel it resonates today. It invites us to reflect on the light we follow in our own lives. The light could be our hopes, our dreams, the truths that we seek. Of course, I can't kind of not mention the 12 days of Christmas. Obviously, Epiphany is the 12th day, Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, which I listened to this morning, actually, because it's just fabulous. 12 days of Christmas, period of celebration spanning from Christmas Day to January the 6th. So in early times, each of the 12 days carried its own unique meaning, and it was often tied to specific saints or feasts, and it was a way to extend the joy and light of Christmas midwinter before going back to daily routines. And I love this idea of treating Epiphany as this beautiful conclusion to the Christmas season. I feel it's a day to pause, to celebrate, to reflect on what has passed, while anticipating what lies ahead. And I like to do this. I like to kind of see what other people are doing around the world. And you may have your own traditions. I'd love to know what they are. Let me know in the comments, because it's this fascination of diversity across the world that I find so enriching and so interesting. And each tradition reflects the local culture and history, offering this kind of unique perspective on the special day. So I'm going to take a little journey through some of these traditions, some of the research that I've been doing, and some of the stuff that I've known for ages. So in Spain, Dia de los Reyes, you have to excuse my pronunciation on these things, please forgive me. Epiphany in Spain, the Day of the Kings. And it's a joyful celebration of the year. And on the evening of January the 5th, there are parades, cabalgatas, filling the street, people dressed as the three kings, riding on elaborate floats and sweets and gifts for children, and all of this wonderful, lovely festival type thing. Children leaving shoes out overnight, hoping that the kings will fill them with presents. And families gather to share rosca de Reyes, a sweetbread shaped like a crown and decorated with fruit, and inside is a small figurine of the baby Jesus. And finding this is a blessing and a delightful surprise. How wonderful is that? If you are Spanish or if you have a Spanish tradition, let me know. Now, I know about the Italian La Befana. So in Italy, Epiphany brings the charming figure of La Befana, which is a kind-hearted witch she is, with a story full of whimsy. And according to the legend, the Magi invited her to join their journey, but she declined, saying she was too busy, probably because she's a woman. Anyway, later she regretted it, and she'd been searching for the Christ child ever since, leaving gifts for children along the way. I love this. I just love it. So on the night before Epiphany, children hang their stockings for La Befana to fill with sweets if they've been good, or coal if they've been naughty. There you go. Although the coal is often sugar candy. Markets and festivals honour La Befana and blending this faith and folklore in just this wonderful Italian way. Oh, I just love it. It's so enriching, isn't it? In Greece, Theophany, the blessing of the waters. So in Greece, Epiphany is known as the Theophany, and it celebrates the baptism of Jesus in the River Jordan. So we are kind of looking ahead. And one of the most dramatic traditions is the blessing of the waters, where priests bless rivers and lakes and the seas, throwing a cross into the water, and then brave swimmers dive in to retrieve it. Now, I have to say, doing this in Greece is going to be better than doing it in England, isn't it, to be honest? Diving in to a river or a lake in January in England is not going to be quite as invigorating, I think, as diving into the Mediterranean. Just a little thought there. Anyway, the priests blessed homes with holy water, ensuring protection and good fortune for the year ahead. So thinking about more northern climes, going from the Mediterranean, let's go up to Iceland. Pretandin. In Iceland, Epiphany is celebrated as Pretandin. I'm not sure that I am pronouncing that. Or 13th Night. Steeped in magic and folklore, the evening before is marked with bonfires, fireworks, and storytelling about elves and trolls and hidden people, Hulderfolk. Believed to be a time when the mystical world interacts with the human world. I'm just looking at my notes. Songs and dances around bonfires, creating a festive and mystical atmosphere, blending this conclusion of the Christmas season with Iceland's rich folklore. I am fascinated by Nordic folklore, actually. It's absolutely fascinating. I love these traditions that combine my kind of English and Celtic and Nordic combinations of my own ancestry. In Sweden, Thirteenth Night is a public holiday marked by church services and quiet contemplation. And in Finland, there's the Star Boys tradition. Children dress as the Magi and perform carols and nativity plays and things like that. And I just love all of these. So in Norway, Denmark, Epiphany is not, as I understand, is a little quieter, with more like candlelight and reflections of the season. And these traditions beautifully blend this Christian observation with the ancient folklore, celebrating light as a symbol of hope. And I think we can have that for all of us. And I think this is particularly important in the Nordic countries and in Scotland, where it's very dark for a long time. And that would be true in northern Canada as well, wouldn't it? So Epiphany, an invitation to pause and reflect on the light in our lives, what guides us, what inspires us. I feel that this day encourages us to embrace creativity and renewal. Perhaps we light a candle and journal about what we're going to do this year, what we're going to discover this year, Or maybe you create something inspired by the theme of light, a painting, a poem, a simple sketch, a little doodle, something in your journal. But Epiphany also reminds us to share our gifts. So the idea is, just as the Magi brought their treasures, we all have something unique to offer. I truly believe this. Whether it's our creativity, our kindness, our time, sharing what we have brings light to other people. And this enriches all of our lives. So Epiphany is a day of light, tradition, and revelation. A time to celebrate what has been and to look forward to what lies ahead. From the joyful parades of Spain to the mystical bonfires of Iceland, this day reminds us of the beauty of diversity and the universal themes of hope, renewal, and generosity. Thank you so much for joining me this Wednesday. I hope today's journey through Epiphany inspires you to maybe think about its themes and to create something of your own. Take care. Keep creating, keep seeking, keep celebrating. And I will see you next time. And if you'd like to see some more, you could look at this one and this one. Bye-bye.